much love, back to do it again, to lift those deem or want or need their spirits lifted, as I talk a little bit about my life. And thank you to my soldiers and soldierettes, salute, for coming in to another EBX discussion. And I call down that protection for you from my great creator, our great creator, for ourselves, from ourselves. Because sometimes in some situations we can be our own worst enemy. And it's my job, it's my duty, it's my mission. And I will go to the ends of the earth to break that curse that's within, our black community sometimes. But I ain't gonna go too much on that. But it's a reality and it's a truth that's there. But one day it will be gone, because there's a lot of powerful brothers and sisters out here, as I said. And let's get to those honors. I honor thy ancestors. I honor my parents, my mom, my dad. But my mom's still here, alive and vibrant. And may my dad rest in peace and in power. And I honor my grandparents. I honor thy family. I honor those that have helped a brother along the way. Even if we haven't talked in a while, still got love, because we can't have hate. Hate will do nothing but consume us and take over us. So we deal with any inner issues that we have, and life will be better for it. Those we attach to will be great for it. And the most important person of all, ourselves. It'll be great for ourselves, for our mental and our health. And I'm here to talk about the life of a short order cook. That's what I am. I've been a short order cook for 8 years. And as I've been a cook, I'm going to talk about that amongst other things. And something I want to put in my brothers and sisters' spirit. You give space, but you don't hate. You give space and don't hate. Remember, at the end of the day, it's all about the mental. It's all about your mental. It always comes back to that psyche. And anything that you're entering, whether negative or positive, if it's very major and important. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about that space and not hate and the mental. I'm going to talk on that. But before I get to that, I'm going to talk a little bit about being a short order cook. And most jobs I've had have been in restaurants. And there was a time I was trying to get away from cooking, because every job I ever had, whether it's grocery store, restaurant, always dealt with food. And I was like, oh, I'm so tired of working in restaurants. But sometimes the great creator, the universe, calls us to do different things that we try to, I don't know, I guess I would say not do or want to do or maybe run away from. It's not so much the job, it's the cooking itself. And so I've learned to embrace it, and I've learned to love it, and I like it. And I think it's a part of me. And like I say, a lot of us have many gifts. And you would be surprised that the gifts that the creator will put in us that we ignore sometimes, and he'll push us to manifest it. So cooking, and this runs in my family actually. I got a lot of good cookers, people that can cook in my family. One thing I notice about my family when it comes to cooking, we take pride in our cooking. I remember my grandma, she used to cook, and my uncle used to barbecue and stuff. And my grandmother really took pride in her cooking. And what was amazing about her cooking, is she didn't measure anything. Nothing was measured, but everything was always good and perfect. My grandmother could make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich good. That's how much pride she took in her cooking. She took pride in, when it came to food, she took pride in a lot of stuff. But cooking was just one of those, one of her particular areas, because she had her own garden. And I always remember stuff like that about my grandmother. And, my granddad too, stuff that he liked. He used to like fishing. My grandmother and my granddad used to love fishing. So they knew about gardening and the natural side of food. And I remember my grandma always cooked meals. It was never a lot of out eating or nothing like that, because it's from the old school, old way of cooking and surviving, and the old traditional ways. So yeah, so that's how I ended up, and I had brought that up by my grandmother cooking and stuff, because that's what made me accept that I have a cooking skill. I can cook, and I get a lot of praise about it, and I get told all the time, your food's delicious, and you know your food is good when people are asking about you when you ain't even there. I mean, it gets to the point where other people, they feel some kind of way when they're there, when they're cooking, because the people will be like, where Eric at? You know, that's my name, Eric. A lot of people don't know my name, but that's my name, Eric. And they'll say, where Eric at? And, you know, that'll make people feel some kind of way. And this is just, I'm using cooking kind of as an example, but this is in a lot of things. You know, sometimes you'll manifest gifts in yourselves, my brothers and sisters, that will blow people away and surprise people. And you just doing what you love. You know, you just doing what's inside of you, you know, and you just letting it flow. And unfortunately, in this world, you know, you're going to come across, you know, person, place, or thing that sometimes you won't understand why they don't understand. But let's go back to that mental. And I'm still going to finish on, you know, being a short cook and stuff. But I'm putting all this together because being a short order cook and working in restaurants and making multiple meals, and this is for anybody that's, you know, working a job, and, you know, whether it's a grocery store or Walmart or any kind of job, you know, that's, you know, kind of like mine, you know, and, you know, McDonald's, etc., etc. And you really do have to have a strong mental mindset to work in these jobs, and it can become overwhelming. So the only way to conquer those cranky feelings we get, the annoyances we get from customers and stuff like that, the only way to deal with stuff like that is you have to practice spirituality. You have to take spirituality with you on your job, literally. Spirituality, excuse me, kind of fumble. And it takes time, you know, it takes meditating. You know, we have to take meditating serious. That is a key component and a very important part of our subconscious and those deep things within. Because a lot of times we don't know we're feeling things if we're not in tune with ourselves and we haven't meditated. So that's why I was saying, okay, I'm gonna give you an example. For instance, never go to a job without meditating, and always, whether it's in the morning, whatever time you got to go, always have enough time before you get there so you don't have to rush. Try your best not to be late. And when you're on the job, always your security is being on time and going above and beyond on your job. Not for the job, not for your boss, but for yourself. That's your security. Because when you got a strong work ethic, no one can break that. Can't nobody mess with that. And you will be able to get your off days and your vacation days. But it all depends on your work status, on your work ethic. If you one of the top workers of the job and they need you, oh, trust me, you get what you need without having to push or be a theatoric, or, you know, no, when I say a theatoric, I don't even know that's a word. But you know what I mean? Not being, you know, demanding. You know, you just let it flow. Because I'll tell you, my brothers and sisters, I got a raise one time without even asking. And that's what I'm talking about. And I'm gonna talk a little bit about that. And it's one of my managers that hired me. He's real cool. He's no longer the manager there now. He's moved on to other things. But and how he approached me was so cool, because when he approached me, I thought I was in trouble. He said, Eric, I need to talk to you. I said, oh boy, what I do now? Because, you know, especially being a black man, I hate to say it, you know, a lot of times we can be on edge. So sometimes we'll think, you know, when a manager calls us in the office or something like that, we like, okay, what I do? And he said, Eric, we really like the way you work. You have a very strong work ethic. We've never had any trouble out of you. And we thought you deserved a raise. And they gave me a raise without me even asking. And that's because, and it's not that, you know, I just do me. When you just true to yourself, things will just fall on you. But they won't fall on you, ladies and gentlemen. You won't get these great gifts and these great things and these wow moments if you let things before you distract you, because we always got to remember it's all about the mental. Stay centered. If you can meditate and assess things, don't let hate get into your system. Don't let jealousy get into your system. Work things out. Understand things first. Don't let your emotions take hold of you or take control of you. Because remember, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get emotions. It's going to happen. It's a part of human nature. But it's all about controlling them the best way we can. And that's what it's all about. So we can't let things overwhelm us. Because remember, ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to please everybody. We always got to keep that in mind. That's something I always keep in my subconscious and in my spirit. And we always got to remember, and this goes for in the world, social media, and in life in general. We never know what another individual is going through. So we can't judge them. This is something I learned from a great teacher. I don't want to take nobody's sayings or nothing. We can't judge others by the state of our own mind. Remember, that's not my saying, but that's a very great saying, and I heard this from a great teacher. So I just want to give him that credit and salute to any teachers out there that's doing your thing. And I just will join in and keep carrying that torch, because I'm a brother that's been through things that I thought I would never conquer. And there are many other brothers and sisters that are the same. And I will never hate on thy brother or thy sister, no matter what. And any opinions I have and all that, sometimes we just got to keep it to ourselves. We don't know what another individual is going through. We can't take things personal. So this is the life and the mind of a short order cook. And these are things that I think sometimes, even when I'm on the job, even when I'm cooking, because I can be on autopilot. I can be somewhere, my body will be there, my vessel will be there, but my mind will be somewhere else. My mind will be somewhere in the clouds, thinking of ways to make this world a better place. And at the end of the day, that's my whole reason for starting this channel. I know it's a lot more I can do than speaking, but remember, it starts with the mental first. It starts with the inside. And a lot of us have this desire, and a lot of us want to do more for the community and the world. But you have to start somewhere. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It starts first in your mind, because the body always follows the mind. That's why it's important, and that's why you hear a lot of teachers and brothers and sisters say it's vital that we be in tune with ourselves. And there's many reasons to be in tune with yourself, not just to be enlightened and be open-minded, but you have to be ready for those things that will almost discourage you. That's why you have to take times and study, my brothers and sisters. Any situation you encounter, that's why you always hear me say, play out scenarios before you go off any impulses and any emotions. And I just done a recent podcast on that we need to have classes on impulses, because that's the biggest, greatest, that's the Goliath of social media, is impulses. And that's real. And because one has made a lot of mistakes off impulses, and I'm sure many other brothers and sisters have been through the same thing. And impulses could lead to so much drama and karma. So that's why we have to take the time to study ourselves, study places, and study people. And always look at every angle before you come to a conclusion. And that, my brothers and sisters, is being in tune with yourself and keeping yourself centered. So that's how I'm able to maintain being a short order cook and working on the job and going through the ups and downs of being on the job. So to any of my brothers and sisters out there that's got a job out here in this world, I know how it is working on these jobs, wherever you working, Walmart, McDonald's, let me see, did any of these, what society, I can't even talk, society would call mediocrity jobs or mediocre jobs, whatever you want to call them. Trust me, a lot of our brothers and sisters, we're only doing what we have to do. And But it's a lot of good brothers and sisters that's on these jobs that got bigger plans. Trust me, because I've conversed with them and I've talked to them. I've talked to a lot of deep brothers and sisters on the job, and young and around my age. I'm 51, and it's just it's all how you are as an individual, how you perceive things. But the one place you can be free is in your mind. Let no one, no person, place, or thing take what you have built your whole life, my ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are. Let no one, no person, place, or thing take that good, wholesome spirit that you have away from you and overstand things. And sometimes you have to give space, but don't hate. Keep love in your heart, because hate won't get you anywhere. It will consume you. Because when you are true and you are one with oneself, you overstand people, places, and things. Because never forget, ladies and gentlemen, it's all about maintaining that psyche and controlling that mental. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about. It's not about views. It's not about subscriptions. It's not about what people think of us. It's all about maintaining. It's all about the mental. And focusing on your family as much as we can, our children, and things that are important. Fuck the things that are insignificant on this walk, because everything is not always going to go our way. But stay on course, stay on path. Like I said on a recent podcast, what stands in the way becomes the way. So always do an invoice, and all the little things that are strongholds and that are so-called in the way, you get them the fuck out the way. And I mean that sometimes we have to be a little aggressive, but not mean and not hateful. But we have to be a little aggressive in our walk, because when one is true and one is walking with truth, there's no such thing as fear. And like I always say, it's not about being tough. It's not about being hard. It's not about being a gangster. It's about being true to oneself, wherever you are. And that's my message. And that's the life of a short order cook and the things that be on my mind. So welcome to my world. And that's why I'm able to do this with 52 subscribers, low amount of views. Prime example of don't ever give a shit of what's before you. Make deflecting distractions your best friend. Make it a habit. Make it become a part of you. And always keep love. Always keep love for our brothers and sisters that's reaching and teaching out here, because no one is perfect. Our brothers and sisters are not perfect. I'm not perfect. So when we get to this point, it will make for an easy life for your mental. Some things I'm not saying, let challenges go or nothing like that. But to maintain your peace, some things you have to just let go. But keep love and overstand those in their lives and what they're going through. Because at the end of the day, it's all about not disrupting that flow of the universe. And you'll hear me say that all the time. And keep that in your spirit, ladies and gentlemen. And that will keep us centered too. Don't disrupt that flow. And the flow of the universe, when I say that, that means within yourself and the outer. Overstand things first before you jump off an impulse. So that's how you maintain that mental. So that's my message. And thank you for coming in to a little walk of the life of a short order cook. And to all those that have jobs out there, stay strong. Study your mental. Read books on it. Research. Do anything you can to keep yourself centered and keep your spirit full and strong. And always have a loving spirit toward those around you. Because what we do righteous in the present will always benefit us in the future. All day, every day. And that's my positive thought, and that's my real thought. And I honor my children. I honor those that come in and listen to a brother, because you could have been doing anything else. To my soldiers and soldierettes, salute. Like I said, I honor my family, my children, my children's mothers, brothers and sisters all over the world, all the teachers. May you have peace, in your part of the world, wherever you are, right now. 1.